Hey guys, Level here, back at it again with another level maximum tier list. This is part 2 of the CJX Aura tier list, the Attacker Edition. Previously, 9 days ago, I did the Defender Edition. You should go watch that video. For this video, it would be super cool if I could get 5 likes and 5 subscribers. If you subscribe, you make my day. And maybe one day you'll watch one of my videos and I'll make your day. It seems like a pretty good trade-off. Anyways, let's get into it. Operators are on the screen. They're in alphabetical order. We're going to start off with Ace. Ace, I want to say this guy has 0 aura, but unfortunately, he's a hard breacher. And he also fights with a drill on his chest, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a Chad move. So instead of like D tier, I think like D tier is like no aura. I think like F tier is like negative aura. I'm going to put him in C tier because he's got a drill and he's a hard breacher. Amaru definitely has aura. I think it's from the grappling hook and the mentality that comes with using a grappling hook. You know, you just kind of send your whole, well, hers is like it's like a compression grappling hook. So like it kind of, you can kind of just like burst into a room really fast. I think that like when you full send it into a room, you definitely have some solid aura. I think that's B. Okay, Ash. I think Ash is a weird one because it's like the guns you use in the game shouldn't matter that much. But if I have a good player on my team, like I definitely want Ash. I definitely want that good player on Ash, and I want them to be getting entry kills with the R4C, I think is called. And it's pretty surprising like how much the game has developed to this point to be able to support the feeling of like, yes, I want my best player on this specific op with this specific gun. Because like normally, I feel like in most games like it doesn't matter what gun you're using, but like now it's like, you know, the G3 G36 is like irrelevant, and it's like it's all about the R4C, and I definitely want my best player on that gun. So I think Ash is just A tier. I would say Blackbeard, right? I would say he was highly rated in the past, but now he doesn't have a sidearm. He has no Desert Eagle, and he's essentially a shield operator. I'm not like I don't really like shield operators that much. But with his history, it's hard to like demote him that much because he's added so much to the game and been changed so much by the game that I think with his history he's a B. But if he didn't have his history, I think he would be lower than a B. Blitz. So like I said, shield ops are kind of lame. Uh, like I think, you know, if you have a shield, you should be a little bit more exposed. Like I think to make the game better, they should make shields smaller. But he's like Blitz is pretty balanced. Okay, he is kind of exposed on the sides. And I feel like his flash like isn't as strong as it used to be, but maybe I'm wrong. So Blitz is pretty balanced. Um, I think it's really fun to play him when you like run into a building, you push somebody with shield, you blind them, and you kind of just like clear out a building like with just a suppressed pistol. I think he's cooler than Blackbeard. So I'm gonna say B. Brava was a great addition to the game, and sometimes I'm more scared of a clutch drone than a twitch drone, depending on whatever the team setup is as a defender. And her elite skin is like all cut up and bloody. She's definitely pretty cool. Mm, even just the color choice of her operator logo is pretty sick. So I'm gonna give her an A. I think she's really good addition to the game. Is she better than Ash though. It's close. It's really close. She's a camera op, so like she could be, but I'll just you know, that's gonna make people upset if I put her past Ashe, and I don't really feel like debating over it right now. So we got Buck, Canadian soft wall legend. Not a softball legend, soft wall legend. I think anyone that uses shotgun underbarrel is definitely going to have a high aura rating. And his is not a pump shotgun either, it's semi-auto. So basically, you know, and it's called the skeleton key. It opens up anything. I want to say Buck is like an honorable S, but I haven't felt the same energy from the community regarding him in specific. So I'm gonna give him A plus instead of an S. Okay, Capitao, similar to Buck. He's also a legend. He's a Brazilian crossbow legend. He's also underrated like Buck. There's a lot of similarities between the two. So I think he's also going to get an A+. I feel like Deimos is probably just an S, right? I mean, like, he's not even, you know, too broken. I don't think he's just overpowered. I think you can definitely, like, counter him in the game. You can play mute, you can stand on stuff, you can run away, you can trick him into walking into explosives, you know, if he's above you. I would be kind of surprised if they nerfed him in the game. And you know, he's Siege's #1 villain. He's got all the aura clips, bro. So I think it's just an S. Okay, hot take, Dokkaebi. I don't really care anymore. I'm gonna be honest. Like I know a lot of people care. Like I just don't give a fuck. So I think the whole like cyber cafe hacker look is definitely out. And just never hand this woman your phone. Gonna give her B tier, which feels wrong now that I'm looking at it. Like, I don't know. I think Blackbeard's cooler. I think Blitz is cooler. I think Amaru is not as cool as Dokkaebi. We'll fix it later. We'll fix it later. Okay, Finka, being able to increase the blood flow of your teammates is actually insane aura. I think she's like an S minus. I'm gonna leave her in S because I don't know if I want an S minus category yet. Again, if we'll change it at the end if it looks wrong. Okay, Flores. So this guy definitely has drip. I mean, his hat, his fucking suits, dude. He brought a scarf in about. I might even give him extra points for the scarf, dude. He's got the fucking driver gloves, the glasses. Brings playing cards into like terrorist situations. That's kind of crazy. Unfortunately, his gadget is ballsack. I was gonna give him B plus, but when I said that, I kind of forgot he had a scarf, which is definitely really hard. He might be an A. He might be an A, and like, okay, I'll adjust stuff later, but like I feel like these are A pluses, and then like he's like an A. So I'll adjust more later, but like this is Marty going back and forth with the changes. And I think that's better. Maybe I won't change stuff at the end. Like we'll just do this now on the fly. Um use I want to say S tier. You know, if you're like on defense and you're standing next to his gadget while it's shooting explosive hockey pucks out, and there's not really anywhere to run, like that's kind of terrifying. I also think he moves with a lot of swagger. He's got the AK-12. It's a lot of A pluses. A lot of A pluses. And also a lot of S's if I put him in S. Does Fuze have more aura than Deimos? Like, he's got, he's got that villainous aura. But I think Fuze is a villain in his own right, dude. You know? Watching people get blown to bits is kind of fucking terrifying, so... Is that right? Is this right? This looks better. Hmm. Okay, we'll just give him... I think that looks better. I know, like, Deimos is deserving of a top spot for sure. Glaz D tier for sure. Like, I think this is like, if you play Counter-Strike, this is like buying an auto sniper. Like, it's really cheesy. It works. It probably works even when it shouldn't work. And I feel like he was really cool at one point. But I'm going to say not anymore. And, like, maybe if you're in an unranked lobby, like it's S tier. But in ranked, I think, like, picking Glaz is troll. This isn't really going to be a balanced tier list because I feel like a lot of the attackers definitely have pretty good personality. I mean, like already, I already have like multiple A's, A pluses, B pluses, 3 S's. Like, I think like the attackers like have a lot of aura, or maybe I just don't care as much about attackers because I think like defense has more nuance. So because attacking like doesn't have that nuance, like it's all just meshed together for me. But I think Glaz is like firmly in the D tier compared to everybody up top for good reason. I think Gridlock's really underrated. Um, and she's really annoying to like retake against her gadget if you don't have impact grenades, because you have to use like 2, 3 mags like just to shoot all the needle wheel things. She's got a polarizing figure for sure. I want to say like A minus. I wanted to say A minus. But I'll put her in B tier. I'm also going to swap Capitao Flores. I'll put her B plus, not B tier. B plus. Okay, Grim. Grimithy. Grim God. S tier. Okay. He uses nano B robots to kill people. He's got an insane hat. I think he's top of S tier for sure. Maybe even triple S. But we'll just leave him at top of S for right now. That looks good. Alright, Hibana, I think she's cool. I think her pellets need a buff. I think she's got a good weapon selection. I wish her pellets like blew up a little faster or made bigger holes. She definitely needs some help. And I think her energy is very quiet. So I'm just going to put her in B tier with Dokkaebi. Is she better than Dokkaebi? I don't know. Dokkaebi's got the SMG-12. She hacks phones. She hacks cameras. She's got the DMR, right? I will say though, because of like Hibana's vest, like the way it looks in game, I feel like she is the most likely person to actually be on a zip line, like the when you throw a grapple hook up and you're on the wire when you're climbing walls and stuff. Like I feel like she's actually a very siege-oriented operator, like the fundamentals of the game. So I think she's like actually like the definition of B tier. Iana. I like Iana, but she's kind of useless because her gadget is so loud. So I'm also going to put her in D tier. They could have done her better, or they could have made her like an attacking alibi or something. Maybe like let her clone move on its own. Like because like it's not a good operator for solo queue because you need to like push it out of your wrist or whatever, or your hand, and then you have to become the camera. I think like they should just let it run in. Like maybe like have like a tablet where you set like a walking path for it, and then you just walk in behind it. I think is probably how it should work, but whatever. IQ, I think IQ has a lot of OG status. I feel like people that played this game early on and they one it accelerates learning because if you use the gadget, you'll like learn where all the default cams are and like good spots for equipment. So if you know, let's say you run into a mute main, right? And you play against mute mains for a couple games in a row, you'll learn all the default spot for like the mute locations, like just by playing IQ. So you'll know how to like clear buildings faster. So I think she's good in that aspect educationally. And I feel like back in the day, like when you were learning pistols, how to use pistols, I feel like all the good pistol players like played IQ. That's just my opinion. So I think she's also B tier. Is she Hibana level? I think she's better than Dokkaebi. Jackal. Get the fuck out of here, bro. F tier. Jackal, he's got his goofy ass fucking helmet with his stupid visor, stupid chin strap, fucking shitty weapon selection. I hope he's banned every game so no one has to play this garbage again. Okay, Kali. Kali's cool, but I feel like she's not cool enough. In like a good way. I like that she has like a sleeveless suit on. Um, that goes hard, you know, show those biceps. She's got the bandana, the glasses, the sniper, the little headset thing on her ear. She's pretty cool. Like I like the sniping aspect. I think that's something that is not. It's like Glaz works. Like you can play with Glaz, right? You but then Kali also works, and she destroys gadgets, and she destroys deployable shields. Like I think she's more useful than Glaz. Um, I want to say like definitely better than Glaz, probably better than Ace. I'm gonna say C plus with Amaru, top C plus. I think like she could be like a B or better. But I don't like her that much because I think her secondary is the TMP, and like I just feel like if Kali's last alive, like there's no chance for her to win, unless the opponents like walk into the sniper rifle. Because the TMP is just not good enough. Like you can't get a multi kill with the TMP. I think they should make her secondary like a shitty primary that exists in the game. So maybe like the SMG that like Mozzie and Aruni have, because like it's a small SMG. It doesn't have a lot of bullets, but it gives you more killing potential. I feel like so. Yeah, she's C plus, but like they could give her a better weapon, and she'd probably be like maybe even B plus or B. Lion. If you think about it, he can like force people to stop moving on the defender side, so him and his attacking teammates will be able to like clear easier. I think you know being able to freeze people in place is pretty strong. I think that's definitely an aura trait. Uh, I think like just even in my own experience, it's super easy to play in solo queue. He's probably one of my best attackers, so I think I'm gonna give him A tier. Maybe better than Capitao, but like Capitao is kind of niche. I think Lion applies to more sites. Capitao only works on a few sites. But he's definitely like, Capitao is an A+, like Buck, but he's just seen less often, which is probably why he's in the A tier. Yeah, okay, I feel better about this now. Now Flores just has aura for the way he dresses. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat that. You know, no matter how useful Lion is, the way this guy dresses is just immaculate. So it's, you know, he's definitely top of A tier role model in terms of clothing attire, for sure. Okay, Maverick is kind of lame. Um, it doesn't help. He doesn't help with like team cohesion. I feel like whenever you pick a Maverick, you have to have a lot of stuff go into the Maverick. And honestly, I don't feel comfortable playing just Maverick as a solo hard breach. I feel like if you play Maverick and you have the option to bring 2 hard breaches or a bunch of can openers, then you should play multiple hard breach because then it gives you more options. Like just playing around the Maverick is like not really. It's like it's a little slow. You have to have a really good Maverick who knows how to use his fuel consumption correctly and stand in the right spot. And if you have like an average Maverick, like he's just lame. Um, and it's too much work to really make that easy. So I'm gonna put him in D tier. I think he's better than Iana. Is he better than Glaz? Like there's certain sites where Glaz, you know, he just throws a smoke grenade down and he goes to work, you know. Maverick, I mean Maverick's pretty useful. He's a hard breacher, so maybe just top a D. I'm look, B tier has a hard breacher at the top, C tier has a hard breacher at the top, D tier has a hard breacher at the top. I guess they're all in their own right. Okay. Montagne is the mountain, man. Puts his whole team on the fucking back, full body shield, just fucking absolute unit, top of S tier, above S tier. I used to like Nomad. I don't know if it's CJX or what, but it is still funny to launch people with her gadget. So I'm put her in B tier. Actually, somebody below Dokkaebi for once. Let's just keep that noted. Nokk was A+ when she was released with Silent Footsteps and the old grenades, but honestly, yo, the new grenades are so fucking trash. Like you can land 2 grenades in a guy stuck on a corner and like he'll live with 1 HP. And it's like these are like excellently placed grenades. Like there's nowhere for this guy to go. The grenades are so garbage. Um, yeah, nowadays she's probably like a C tier. Osa is definitely a good one. She definitely has some aura. I wish she was a little more versatile on some maps and situations, but she's definitely cool. I definitely think she was a good addition to the game. I think maybe B tier. Maybe B tier. Oh, this is C+. Maybe B tier. It feels weird putting her above Nokk, but it is what it is. Like, I mean, that's kind of just the state of the game, isn't it? Okay, Ram. I think Ram is A tier. A tier. I think you guys need to put some respect on her Roombas and even her soft wall ability. She's got pretty good soft wall ability compared to like people with a shotgun, maybe even maybe even Sledge, right? I think her hole is bigger when she throws it through the wall. It's a little bit harder to use, like breaking hatches and soft walls, but like if you do it right, I think it's really good. And she's got night vision goggles on. That's pretty sick. Actually, night vision goggles, she might be A+. Okay, so this person, I'm gonna call her Door Lady. I'm really tired of guessing how to say her name, and I still haven't heard it said in the game. So for that reason, she goes in F tier. If I knew how to say her name, she might be like a B tier, because she's like not a bad operator, but her name is stupid, and they should have given her a better name. Okay, I've played Sens for a hot minute, and honestly, the people in the game can't handle him. Alright, he's too good. He's too good. Too good of an op. A tier. Okay, Sledge. Sledge is like a Tom Clancy's Siege staple. Man, he brings the hammer into battle. I want to give him S tier, but the higher you go in ranked elo, I feel like he's less relevant. I might be wrong. I feel like similar to Glaz, like unranked, he might even be like double S tier. But in ranked, like it's just not as easy. It's not as free. I'm gonna say like B tier. I want to go halfway between double S unranked and like ranked B tier, and like give him like A or A plus. He has aura. Like he has aura. Now that I'm looking at it, he's definitely like at least here for sure. Um, he has aura. I don't know if I can actually make him go higher because of like solo queue. Like it's so hard to like get value every single round in solo queue. If you play in a stack, I'm sure you can. I'll give him B plus. I feel okay with that. But like to get into A tier, I think you need to play in a 5 stack, and like his aura goes up with the more teamwork you have. Okay, Striker needs a recoil buff on his AR, just a small one. But I enjoy playing him a lot. There's not much to say, like quiet personality for sure. I give him B plus next to Sledge. Okay, Thatcher. His EMPs no longer break gadgets, which that's fair. His gas mask looks like an alien from the Land of the Lost. So that's kind of creepy. And I feel like any operator with a gas mask, like Thatcher, Sledge, Lion, Finka, these operators should be able to walk through Smoke's gas, and they can't, which is kind of stupid. So I think he has aura though. I'll give him like a B. I'll give him a B. Is Thatcher better than Dokkaebi? Get it, guys? It's Dokkaebi. Fucking hilarious, bro. Is Thatcher better than Dokkaebi? Probably not. In terms of aura power. What does the scatter say about their aura power level? Okay, Thermite. Thermite is S tier. He's the best hard breacher. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put him there. He doesn't go at the top of the category because my boy Grim. Really big fucking hole coming right up. He's the only hard breacher that can actually make a hole. Everybody else has like stupid little rectangle boxes where you have to like put money into a vending machine like just to climb through the hole. Yeah, I mean Thermite S tier. He's like one of the four pillars of aura for sure on the attacking side. There would be no Siege without Thermite. Twitch, I think Twitch is B plus. I think Twitch is B plus. I wish her drone did more damage like it used to, or had like a real taser effect, but it's fine. Like she's crucial to the game also, just clearing utility, getting info. Having 4 drones for info is super good. Like just a really great operator on basically every site. So B plus. I think Ying is B tier. I think Ying is B tier. I'll put her like next to Thatcher, I guess. I would hate to be on like the receiving end of one of her flashbangs. They're kind of, it's a special flashbang. It rolls, it launches multiple flashes. Like I don't think I've ever seen like a military video of these flashbangs actually existing, but if they do exist, like I do not want to be hit by one of those. So B tier. Zero. I think he's from the Splinter Cell game. I haven't played that game in a very long time, so I don't remember any of it. Definitely a strong operator. The cameras, the methodical gameplay, the karambit. I'm gonna say that Zero, as an operator, has a very big brain, so I'm gonna give him A tier. We'll put him above Sens. Okay, Zofia, the last operator. Honestly, like, also Zofia, very lame. Okay, like, I would prefer if Zofia was doing cartwheels and knocking people out with martial arts. I feel like she's never had a place in the game. Her best use in the game is clearing the garage, which just got nerfed on the radius of her stun, so the garage on Clubhouse. I feel like she's never had a place in the game other than that, so like C tier. And that's the tier list. I don't see anything wrong with it now because I fixed it during the video. So yeah, guys, make sure to like and subscribe and go watch the other video if you want to see what the Defender's aura was all about.